Okay. Before. All right, we are live. I'm gonna do 30 seconds.
Okay.
Here we are.
All right. Yeah. Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to another episode of To the Top Talk, the live edition. This is the longest and original running Southern Miss podcast in the market. We are recording this on November the
22nd.
Yeah, from beautiful Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Here, as always, with your break from the High Resource 5 propaganda to talk a little Southern Miss athletics. I'm your host, Jason Bailey. Joining me now, the one and only Patrick Lowry.
Live. Here we go, baby. Loving it.
Loving it. It's a different animal for sure. And it took us a little bit longer to get it on tonight. Part of that was because of coming from the basketball game. Another part was that Jack just had to go run around on the basketball court later after it was over. So anyway, we got a little bit of a late start, but we're getting our feet wet, right?
Yeah,
we're getting used to this.
And just for the record, still trying to figure out. Apparently, with this platform, Twitter is not playing very nice, so you cannot make comments on Twitter, which is just unfortunate. If you want to make a comment where we can see, make that on YouTube or on Facebook. And we already have one. We're gonna pop it up. Pain
is what I feel. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you can take a little bit of pain away by going to visit our great sponsor, 4th Street Bar and Grill, Hattiesburg's premier neighborhood sports bar. Not only do they have the famous homestyle plate lunches Monday through Friday, but they also have weekly drink specials. Make 4th Street Bar and Grill your go-to spot for all Southern Miss games, home and away. 4th Street Bar and Grill, we install and service hangovers. Actually had a listener hit us up during the week. Listener Robert was driving. I think he lives in northern Alabama or in lower Alabama down there on the Panhandle or next to it. He hit me up wondering about the catfish. So the deal with the catfish there, no, it's not on the menu at 4th Street, but they do offer it every single Friday. So I hope that he came up and he found something else on the menu that he liked. What happened since the last time that we recorded? Well, we lost a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Lost a little bit more tonight. That's where that pain comment came in. We lost in the Sun Belt Conference tournament in volleyball. We lost to Mississippi State. We lost like 3 basketball games in a row.
Right.
So we did a lot of losing. We also got a new senior deputy athletic director / COO. Mm-hmm. We found out there been a schedule change to the 2024 Southern Miss football schedule. Pilo and I played some golf today. That was good. Or I guess you could call it golf. We were out there. Didn't lose many golf balls. That's good. Sold a few more shirts. The shirt that I ordered still hadn't gotten here. So tonight I went with this shirt. The NIT championship shirt.
Solid.
OG shirt from back in the day. And maybe one of the most exciting pieces of news to come out in quite a while at Southern Miss is we learned that there was going to be the plans had been approved for renovations to Reed Green Coliseum and to the Pete.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all knew that Reed Green Coliseum was coming up, but the renovations to the Pete, where we thought that was somewhere in the future. At some point you have to make some upgrades, right? We did the field turf a few years ago and put in the suites, a decade or so ago, but mm-hmm. To keep up with the Joneses, we really needed to probably upgrade that. As much as we love the Pete, there's only so many times you can put lipstick on a pig, right? So we learned that the Pete is indeed going to have renovations like in the $20 million range or something like that. So That's a pretty good reno.
Yeah.
And that's really all that's happened since the last time that we recorded.
Yeah, we do have some couple comments coming in. Our good friend Doll is saying what everybody's thinking. Free throws, free throws, free throws.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring up those stats right now. I've got all the stats on the rest of the games that we've played. I realize that this is a live feed and everybody probably wants to talk about the game that just ended.
Mhm.
So, do you have those stats brought up, Pila?
I am working on that as we speak. Let's see here. Live.
I'm going to start off with the Mississippi State game. Let's go back to that. So, Mississippi State. First of all, football, we're sitting at 3-8, 2-5 in the conference. The game versus Mississippi State, I went, you went. It was my game to ever witness a football game in Starkville. And for the most part, I had a decent time. But I tell you what, I don't want to hear anybody talk about the parking situation on campus at Southern Miss ever again. Okay.
Yeah.
And not that I really hated it. I thought that where we parked, we ended up getting a decent spot at somebody's condo. My buddy Eric had a friend that last minute gave us a little parking pass to hang on our visor. To hang on our rearview mirror. And so we got a great parking spot. Still had to walk like a mile, but on the little trek, it kind of reminded me of Ted Lasso. When people would have the drinks at the pub and then walk through the town, through the stadium. All that being said, I like the way we do it a lot better.
Yeah, dude. And the crazy thing was we had these like sweet tickets that I got, which it was really like a kind of almost like the touchdown club, which was great. I mean, the food was good. Like it was really cool. I didn't know that we were going to be sitting on the surface of the sun. Literally just sat. I got fried. My face is showing that. But the crazy thing was we weren't really sure what gate to go in because like our ticket just said like suite. It didn't say like a gate. It didn't say anything. We asked like 6 people. Nobody had a clue where we were. We walked around like we almost missed kickoff because like nobody knew where we were supposed to go. So it was kind of crazy to me. It seems like they would, they had lots of workers, but nobody knew what to do. So anyway.
Yeah, let's fly through this state game real quick. Then we'll hit the game from tonight. So we lost to Mississippi State 41-20. The score ended up really not being indicative of how the game went. I thought Mississippi State goes to 5-6, 1-6 in SEC play. It was a fast start, and then it was like really, really boring for quite a while. And then all kinds of fireworks at the end. So Southern Miss scores first, leads 7-3 after one quarter. State puts up 13 in the second for a 16-7 halftime lead. State scores another touchdown in the third quarter to go up 23-7. Then it got interesting. Wiles to Caston for a 44-yard touchdown makes it 23-13. We went for 2. The reason is if you get that, you're only down a score, right?
Right.
Another touchdown and 2-point conversion. We didn't get it. State kicks a field goal, so it's 26-13. Then they kick off. Caston makes a house call, 26-20. At that point, we had moved down to the USM section from our upper deck seats, and we had moved down, and we were sitting with all the USM people and feeling pretty good. Momentum was kind of on our side. And then State kind of benefited from what I perceived as a blown assignment, and the running back goes untouched for a 59-yard score with 7 minutes to go. That made it 34-20. 3 minutes left. Southern Miss is kind of driving right back down the field. We get into State territory, and we throw a pick six. And it was a pick six. It was right to him. You must not have seen him. And then there was a lateral involved. And anyway, so the game with whatever time that was on the clock, just over, I don't know, around 8 minutes or so to go in the game. It was a 6-point game. We ended up losing by 21. So if you didn't see the final score, you're probably like, hey, you get your ass kicked. But we really didn't,
No, it was extremely close. Yeah, for sure.
There were some bad calls. The no pass interference call early.
Blown it.
Downfield, if that's called, Southern Miss is probably up 2 scores early. The
Yeah,
hiding
and
out
I think
call.
if we're not winning that game at that point, it may have been called. We're up 7-0 there. That we're not going to get that call.
Yeah,
It's just not
a
going to happen.
state buddy of mine texted me when it happened. And he said, "How's that not PI?" And this is a state guy, like diehard state guy, with much better
Mhm.
seats than I was. And I just texted him back. I said, "Dude, we're used to it. You know, we don't expect to get that call here." But anyway, so then later on, the hiding out call. I can't believe that came out of the referee's mouth. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of football. Never heard of a hiding out call in my life.
Apparently, it's legal. Just we can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. And Coach Hall said afterwards, he's like, "I think I'm right. They think they're right." Anyway, that was another bad call. And there was a holding call in 2nd and 8 where Crawford connected for a first down near midfield in the second quarter, I think, maybe the third quarter. And we were probably going to go hurry up at that point. So instead of it being a first down and around midfield with us with some momentum, it's 2nd 18 at about our own 30-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad. Then there was a no call when Crawford got hit. He was going out of bounds. I'm not sure. I think he might have been like right on the edge of stepping out of bounds, but he just gets leveled, right? Number one, he's a defensive player, defenseless player at that point. There should have been a flag. Number two is helmet to helmet. They showed it on both jumbotrons. That should have been a flag. And not only did they not get flagged for it, they actually stopped the game and the momentum to review whether he made the line to gain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and another just call after call just did not go our way. Oh, and don't forget about the fight that happened in the middle of the field. And to the moron that was behind me in the stands yelling, you know, "Go back to Hattiesburg" and all that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
We were getting stuff yelled too, and I'm like, our player's helmet was literally ripped off.
Yeah, and he was just getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
So anyway, and they did make that call, right? So I guess something did, you know, not completely go against us. But Pilo, why don't you take us through the stats for the game, and we'll hit a couple individual stats, and we'll get to this basketball game from tonight.
Let's see here. Let's see team stats. So first down, the Eagles had 10, State with 18 rushing yards. We had 105. They had 238. Passing 141 for the Eagles, 144 for the Bulldogs. That adds up to a total offense of 246 for the Eagles, 382 for State. We had 7 punts. They had 5. Time of possession, we actually had the ball 31:04 to 28:56. Let's see. Third down efficiency, we were 3 of 15. They were 6 of 16. And fourth down, we were 3 of 5. They were 0 for 1. Field goals, we didn't attempt any. They made 4 of 4. They had 3 sacks. We didn't have any. And they had that 1 interception.
Individually, Billy Wiles goes 9 for 16 for 89 yards, a score and a pick. Crawford 2 for 4, 52 yards and a TD. He was sacked 3 times. We held Will Rogers in check, I thought. Only 12 for 27, 144 yards and 2 TDs. Frank Gore Jr., we mentioned on the pod, you know, he was probably going to have a great game, and not that he played bad at all, but 22 rushes for 66 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fine effort, but if we're going to win a game like that, it probably needs to be a lot more. Pittman for Mississippi State was held in check too, along with Rogers, but before that one big run. He goes 10 rushes for 98 yards total, but then that one big run at the end, 59 yards, was the dagger. Defensively, Maples had 11 tackles and Dylan Lawrence with 10, including 2 solos. And I thought that holding Mississippi State to just 12 completions was fantastic, right?
Yeah.
It really limited them on third down as well. And State really made like 2 big plays, the long run and then the pick 6. And I know those 2 were late and they were back to back and just completely killed us. But other than those 2, you know, there really wasn't much to speak of for the Bulldogs, I didn't think. You know, we did have the one long play or the one big play from Caston running the ball back. But other than that, you know, not a whole lot coming out. And very kind of evenly game played. So didn't go good. We lost it. We could run through our top moments, but you know, it just is what it is. We lost another football game. We got Troy coming up this weekend, but we said we were going to get to basketball, and I finally have the stats pulled up. Southern Miss loses tonight to South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits, they're not a bad team. if they had like Oregon State on the front of their jersey, I don't think people would be feeling quite as bad. This team was good. I watched them tonight. They were gritty. They can shoot the lights out, and that's one thing that Southern Miss just is having a huge problem to this year doing. And I know that people heard our podcast from when we went to practices, and we were talking about there's going to be nights where Crowley and Kobe and Victor and DI are going to be on, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Well, that hasn't happened yet. We aren't necessarily having a defensive problem. We're having an offensive problem.
Yeah.
Tonight, Crowley's got to get going, dude. And I get it. He's pressing. He's the preseason Sun Belt Player of the Year. At some point, it's going to happen. But he's 4 for 18 from the field. That just can't happen. 1 of 6 from 3-point range. Victor Hart did not hit a 3-pointer. I find that hard to believe, even though I'm sitting here staring at it. He was 0 for 5. Mo Arnold, 1 for 4. We hit 5 threes the entire game, 5 of 23. A total of 16 for 55 from the field, which comes out to a 29.1% shooting percentage.
Yeah, it's just not going to get it done.
Deshaun, our guy, the Daw, mentioned free throws right there. 17 of 31. So it's almost like Leitner's like, look, guys, we aren't shooting good. Quit that. Take it to the hole. Get to the line. We know we can do that. So we did that. But, how many did we lose by? 65 11. To 54. So that's 11.
Yeah.
How many free throws did we miss?
14.
Okay. And I'm not saying you can make all you can go 31 of 31, but let's say that's
half of those.
27 of 31, 26 of 31, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be a different ball game altogether. And there were some bad calls. There's always bad calls. I don't know how many games I've been to in my life. I've been to, I don't know, 1,000.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible. It's a lot. Mm-hmm. And there's always bad calls, so that's not the issue. That's kind of a constant. I don't ever expect to get all the calls to go our way. What I do expect is to hit more free throws. There's going to be nights where you hit threes. There's not going to be nights where you don't. So I thought the plan was there tonight. I thought that we, played for the most part. A lot of players who should be out there. I'd still like to see more Kobe Montgomery.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think DI shot he didn't have a lot of shots tonight.
He was 1 for 3 from the field.
Yeah. I mean, we got to get him going. I mean,
some way to find him open.
Yep.
And it's becoming a trend. I don't think that so Crowley and Hart go combined 1 for 11 from 3-point range. That's and Victor 2 of 9 from the free throw line. Victor just had a bad night. He still scored 16 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double. Very nice effort. And that might work against a lot of teams. It's not going to work against teams like that are shooting the lights out. What did they shoot? Let's find that out.
So the team, they were
they shot 40%,
and from the 3-point, they were 47.8%. They made 11 threes. 11 of 23.
Okay, so 11 threes to our
5.
Well, that's pretty much that's more than the difference in the game right there. So a couple more threes go our way. And I don't know, a handful of free throws.
I mean, the positive, we only had 8 turnovers. They had 17.
Dude, the effort was there. We missed. The lid was just completely on the bucket in the first half.
Right.
We got a bunch of offensive rebounds. There were several possessions where I think we missed like 3 shots in one possession. So didn't work out at all. And that is just how the season's gone so far. I don't. The good thing is that that team tonight. I haven't got the stat right in front of me, but I would venture to say I know that they lost to Central Florida 83-81, and then they lost to
the State and George Mason and Akron.
And in all those games, they scored a bunch of points.
Yeah, 80, 83, 81, and 71.
So defensively, we're kind of holding them there, and I don't think we're asking for too much to be able to score 66 points to win a game. That shouldn't be that difficult to do, but here we are. So yeah, basketball's got to get a little bit better. My turkey's going to taste way worse tomorrow because I have this bad taste sitting in my mouth. If there's going to be a time of the season where you want to struggle shooting or struggle at anything, the beginning of the season is the way to do that. If we struggle the entire year defensively, we're still going to stay in games. I don't ever see a point to where our defense just gets run over to where we're getting blown out of the gym in that direction. But if you're going to beat the better teams in the league, you're going to have to shoot better than that. That's, simple as that, really. Let's talk about this Troy football game coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Mississippi State was a really tough opponent on the road, playing in that kind of environment, which the environment was great. There's probably 20 more thousand people there than I was expecting. The state people really showed up, and
they really did.
I wish that we could
for opening day of deer season. I was really shocked. Not gonna lie,
right?
I thought it was going to be like a ghost town.
Yeah, and the fact that you have to park and walk so far, everybody's got to do it, and they still came. So, Southern Miss people, get off your ass, man. That's we got to do better.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could fit like 6 of our campuses inside of their campus. It's massive,
so spread out,
so much room.
Yeah, just between classes.
Yeah.
It's gotta be difficult.
Yeah. I would have to have a scooter or like a bike or something.
Right. But coming up this weekend, Troy, the good thing is at home, senior day. The bad thing is that Troy's awesome. It's going to be a tougher game than last weekend. I can guarantee you that. Troy's sitting at 9-2, 6-1 in the league. They kind of do what we did for decades. Take us to the tail of the tape, Pilo, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, so kicking it off, let's see. Passing yards for Troy, they're at 270 a game. The Eagles at 196. Rushing 153 for Troy, 163 for the Eagles. That all adds up to total yards for Troy, 423 a game. It's kind of surprising to me. And 359 for the Eagles. Points scored, 29 for Troy and 24 for the Eagles, and points allowed, 17 for Troy and 36 for the Eagles.
That's the big stat, right? The points against. Only giving up 17 a game. So you have a Southern Miss offense only scoring 24 a game, going against the defense that only gives up 17 a game. So how do you think you're going to win this game?
What is the line at right now? Do we know?
I think the last I checked, it was 18.
Oh, wow, that much. Okay. I didn't expect that. Let's see.
While you're looking that up, I want to talk about the individually. So rushing for Troy, they have a guy named Vidal. He has rushed for 1,280 yards, 8 scores. He's averaging 116 yards per game. Receiving, Barber has 774 yards and 5 scores. Lewis has 8 scores himself. Passing, Gunnar Watson, 2,858 yards, 24 TDs, 4 picks, 260 yards per game. He's a stud. And then we didn't even get to the best part of their team. The best part of their team is defense. So defensively, they have 34 sacks as a team. Jubinor, I don't know how to say that, but he has 9 sacks. He's an animal. Solomon, he's even worse. He has 13 sacks on the season. I really hope that you don't hear those names called a whole lot at the Rock this weekend, but you probably will. Stewart leads the team with 4 interceptions. Everywhere you look, there's just playmakers all over that defense. Troy defensively leads in the Sun Belt in total yards allowed, yards per game, and points per game. So, keys to victory. What you got?
Well, to answer my earlier question, the line right now is sitting at 16.5. So, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Yeah, keys to victory. Score more points. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're going to have to disrupt them offensively. I mean, I'm a little surprised by their numbers. To me, at least last year, Troy's just not very good offensively. But they've always been really solid, defensively, and last year's game was really kind of a struggle back and forth. If you remember, it was just kind of a lot of punting, and neither team really punched the ball in a lot. So I think we're going to have to make some disruptions on defense if we can get some pressure, force a turnover, a defensive touchdown, or another kickoff return or punt return or something. I think we're going to have those special teams plays. And then offensively, we're just going to have to establish a little bit of momentum. There were moments, Saturday at State. I mean, I just thought we were really, it seemed like we were in a really good rhythm. And then there were other times where it seemed like we couldn't get anything going. I don't think this is a team that it will be easy to call back against if they get ahead, early. And I think they're going to, they have that good defense like we've talked about. So I think we're going to have to get ahead and just
hold on for dear life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay, here's my theory. Number one, we got to hope that Troy plays really bad. They can't come out and play their best game. I mean, look, we've seen it happen. The year that the 2011 year, we could have beat anybody in the country. Who'd we lose to? Freaking UAB and Marshall.
UAB
right?
there. Yep.
I was at the UAB game. I was bad. They
scored 2 touchdowns in 45 seconds and lost.
Yes, we let them hang around. It was freezing, and
it was cold.
Okay, so number one, hope Troy plays bad. Number two, find a way to run the ball. Which leads me to number three, just keep the ball forever.
Yeah.
Because if you can't find a way to run the ball, we do have to rely on passing with the dude we already talked about with the 13 sacks and the 9 sacks and all the picks and all that. This game can get away from you pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep the ball and I don't care, super back it the entire time, whatever you have to do to just keep this ball and then lull them to sleep, and maybe you can hit that long one to Mims or Caston,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think keeping the ball, which we've done a pretty good job of that this year as far as time of possession goes, and if you can throw in some of those miraculous plays like a run back for a touchdown or it's got to be the best game we've played all season, I think, combined with Troy probably not playing their best. So that's what it's going to take. It's going to be an early one. I'm not sure how we're going to do the tailgating situation. I think it's probably going to be a 1 tent kind of day.
Yeah, I think so.
A few bags of chips, maybe. That I'm not going all out for this. I hope that I can make it out there by Eagle Walk, which
is early.
I thought to the DOB tonight. I was like, is it 9? Because that's going to be freezing. And he said it might be a little before that.
I think it's 8:45.
Yeah, 8:45. So anyway, Eagle Walk. The good thing is they're going to be able to breeze through Eagle Walk pretty quickly, I would think, because it's probably not going to be just too slammed out there.
Yep. Senior day, all the festivities before the game, so try to get in there a little early.
Very good point. Very good point.
Try to make it there and send. This is a lot of people. Well, we don't have a ton, but a lot of these guys have been names that we've all heard for a while. They've been around in the COVID year and all that craziness. So, would definitely want to be there for them.
Yeah, guys like Swayze, guys like Avery, guys like Frank, right? Yeah. I know he has a shot to come back for next year, but he's gone, right? So, all these guys have laid it on the line for quite a while. Hayes Maples, I'm off the top of my head, I'm not going to think of all the players, but they all deserve one last shot. What else are you going to do, right? It's the middle of the day. That's great. I don't mind 11 o'clock games. I hate that it screws up my tailgating, but if afterwards I'm probably going to feel like drinking something, who knows? Might end up downtown again, doing another pub crawl. That happens, we'll go live at some point and probably get arrested. But anyway, for those coming out to the game this weekend, Pilo, that is 3 days from now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So on Saturday, what are we looking like weather-wise?
Yeah, so it looks like what I'm showing now, we're going to have some good weather. So the next couple of days, tomorrow being Thanksgiving, it's going to be cool. We kind of heat back up. So we're looking high 66, low 44. And so looking at kickoff, let's see, at 11 a.m., we were talking 59 degrees, getting up to about 65 around end of the game, and kind of hanging around there. So nice. I mean, not bad. Again, not another rain game. We haven't had hardly any of those this season, which is rare. So
This is gonna be one of the games where you want to be in the sunshine. At the beginning of the year, you
yes,
tried to stay in the shade, like where you sit over there, kind of
we're
up against
going to be in the shade.
You're gonna be you're gonna be cold, but 11 a.m. I mean, it's kind of gonna be up here. Which, by the way, while we're talking about where the sun sits, Mississippi State's football field is backwards. The kickoff that our guy lost in the sun, and then there's a couple passes where we were trying to look up and we we're staring directly into the sunshine.
Yeah.
I started thinking about it while I was there. I was like, we don't ever have that happen in Southern Miss because ours is built the right way, right? We're running north to south, so the sun's over here or the sun's over here. At State, it's this way. They're running east to west, so it's in your eyes one way or the other all the time. So thought they were good at engineering.
Yeah, it's kind of like a driving range, that's
Drop
right
the
into the
ball there.
sun. It's always the worst. So,
Poll
so
results.
let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's before we get to the poll, let's
Okay.
I'm gonna drop a top 3 on you. Tomorrow's
Oh.
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We're gonna do a top 3 snake draft. Thanksgiving sides, or Thanksgiving just food in general. Like maybe do we keep it to sides because everybody knows turkey, like ham.
Okay. Yeah, we
Outside
probably
of
do
that,
sides.
let's just do sides.
You going first?
Sure. I mean, it's obvious.
In the snake draft, I go twice.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Oh gosh. I mean, I gotta go dressing. Like, I just have to. I mean, that's
dressing, not to be confused with stuffing.
Yeah, no, not that.
Depending on what part of the country that you're in, right?
No,
Isn't it the same thing? Is it not?
No, it's not the same thing. It is not the same thing. The stuffing part goes like in the turkey when you like cook it in the oven. Dressing is like cornbread based, bread based. It is separate. Now you use liquid like from the turkey. My mom like roasts a turkey, keeps that liquid, puts it in the dressing. Nobody wants a dry dressing. It is. I'm not going to use the M word that everybody hates, but that is a key to a good dressing. Moisture. There we go.
Okay, dressing is a good one. So, my sister makes a really good green bean casserole.
Oh, it's my favorite.
I don't know where you sit with the green bean casserole.
I'm actually making one tonight.
Okay, and this is a very simple one.
Yeah.
But if I had a bowl of them sitting here right now, I think I would tear it up. Mashed potatoes and gravy, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. We don't do mashed potatoes and gravy in my family, which is not for Thanksgiving like we do, but you can't go wrong with it. I love it. I'm not a big potato person. Anyway, let's see. What am I going to go with? I mean, green bean casserole is my go-to. Like that is like my probably favorite thing with like the crushed onions on top. And gosh, I don't know. So this is weird. My grandmother does like this. I don't even know what it is. It's like a pineapple casserole thing. It's got pineapple in it and like Ritz crackers and like some cheese, and it's hot like that. It's probably one of those like random like potluck things. You're like, what is that? I don't really know. I'm gonna try it, but it's awesome. So I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, and then your last one because you're snaking.
Oh, okay. I mean, you got to go mac and cheese, right? Got to have a good mac and cheese.
Now, does that include dessert?
You can throw a dessert in there. Anything.
I think I'm. You know what I'm gonna go? I'm just gonna go straight up deviled egg.
Ooh.
That might be a might be like an appetizer, a walk around and eat them while you're going, but can't go wrong with a good deviled egg.
Have you ever had like a true deviled egg?
Like from the devil?
No, like they call it deviled eggs because it has deviled ham in it. Have you ever had deviled ham?
No, this one's got like this yellow.
Yeah. You take the yolk of an egg You obviously boil the egg, then you take the yolk out, you mix it in with like a little mayo, but the true traditional deviled eggs actually mix in with the yolk. You have a deviled ham, comes in like a jar, like a can. Mix it in, then you put that back in. That's where they get deviled eggs. Everybody calls it deviled eggs. Nobody knows why. It's deviled ham in the yolk mixed in. You're welcome. We take our food very seriously in the Lowry household. If you haven't, maybe you haven't figured that out. But yeah, little top 3 Thanksgiving. Thanks for
hit us up with whatever
that.
you think. Tell us how wrong we are or how right we are.
Yeah.
I'm sure we left off a bunch.
Slim tonight. I guess it is 10:30 the night before Thanksgiving. People are like, no thanks.
That being said, I thought the crowd tonight was great.
It really was. Yeah,
a little over 3,000 probably. I don't know if you got that pulled up, but it was more than I expected.
I think I saw 3,900 listed on the box. So
it was a good amount of people, and I think they're still gonna. Oh, there it is, 39:45. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have a good. You're like, I want to give a shout out. This, I know it's early, but I'm gonna do it again. So one of my college roommates that lived with me a couple years. He actually lived out west now, but he's originally from Hazelhurst. Clark Little, I think he listens to the show. He was there tonight. Got to see him on the way out. So he texted me and said, "Hey man, get on the game." I'm like, "Of course." And so yeah, I got to see him, and which was awesome. So yeah, you have people like that are from here or around here, coming into town. I know a lot of people are also traveling. We missed the Lee family in the G spot tonight, but I know they were traveling for Thanksgiving. So
poll results from last week. The question was more looking forward to, and we actually had 408 votes come in on this, so that's good. But more looking forward to renovations at the Pete and renovations to Reed Green Coliseum. Renovations to the Pete won the vote 52% to 48%. So people were looking forward to both of them. Which,
yeah,
I don't know where I fall on that. I mean, it's got to happen at Reed Green. The Pete's okay. I think I want to say I voted Reed Green.
I think it's got to be Reed Green. I think a renovated Reed Green is better for the city of Hattiesburg. I think it can bring stuff in. I don't know. I mean, I know everybody loves Pete. I love the Pete. We're there all the time. I mean, I get it, and I think we need more people in there. I don't know. That's a tough and one or the other.
The last thing you want to do is to have so many seats at the Pete that when you get those early games, when they show it on TV, it looks like nobody's there.
Yeah.
That's happened to some of our in-state brethren. Yeah. Where when they get to the situation where you have a regional or a
February game,
a huge, when you get to a situation where you need a lot of seats, they've got a lot of seats.
Right.
But when you don't, it looks like Fulton County Stadium when I was growing up as a kid going to watch Dale Murphy play.
Yeah.
It's like 50,000 seats in there and there's 700 people.
Yeah.
Which doesn't look great.
We got a couple of comments coming in about some Thanksgiving stuff.
Hit me.
Good friend Ted. Candied yams. Oh, I love a good
Ted. Yeah, early shout out to Ted too.
Although I have to disagree. Cranberry out of the can is where it's at. I need those ridges. I need like ocean spray out of the can on top of the dressing. Give it to me.
Very nice. Oh, I see my mom commented.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, yes, on the green bean casserole. That's right.
Yes, the best.
I don't remember you cooking that as a child, Mom. I had to wait till my sister got old enough. But here we are. Let's hit on a couple of basketball things before we get out of here, and feel free to throw in whatever comments you want about tonight's game, about the upcoming game versus Troy. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on how you see it going this weekend. It's. I know we're all in a bad place. There's just been so much losing.
Yeah,
and I get that. I'm there too. I always have this part of me that just holds out hope that something miraculous can happen. I think we laid it out kind of in that fashion. Like, we hope it's going to be great, but we also, just realize it's a monumental task.
I was thinking about it tonight though while we were in Reed Green, and it's just like going back to the beginning a couple of games ago when we were having all those ring ceremonies. I just think last year's calendar year, like we were improved in football, went to a ball game, won a ball game. Baseball, has another great year, goes deep in the postseason. Men wins regular season, women's win regular season. It's just like lots of that. And obviously this year, I mean, women off to a great start. We don't want to leave them out. I know they're undefeated and rolling.
We should just do an entire women's show.
Yeah, we should.
We should, until the men win again. We should just not talk about them.
That's it.
I'm completely fine with that. Let's do that.
Yeah. They got some players on those women's teams. They're not just beating teams. Like,
and also it's not that we don't want to talk about the women a lot. I don't want to be on here 7 hours a night.
That's
right?
true. This is true.
You've got to fly through it, and then we get to talking about mashed potatoes, and there we go.
You get me started on some food. Watch
okay.
out.
So basketball, we lost tonight. Everybody knows that. And I mentioned that we lost a few games in a row. Well, we lost a couple close ones down in St. Augustine, Florida as well.
Mm-hmm.
Played Utah Valley, lost 67-65. Look, Utah Valley's good. If they had a different name on the front of their shirt, people would probably feel not as bad about it. A loss is a loss. I get it. We're not in the business of moral victories. Gotcha. Understand it all. All those texts I've been getting, all those mentions I've been getting, I get you. This Utah Valley team, they went to the NIT last year, just like we did, right? But you know what they did? Won some games, made it to the semifinals. They're not bad. It's not a JUCO. Somebody like somebody mentioned to me, We're down 4 at the half, 34-30. Won the second half, 35-33, but couldn't get going offensively. Shocker, all game long. Hart had 18 points, Crow 15, Ivory 13. We're 6 of 12 from 3-point range, which is fantastic. Crowley's still finding his shot, just 4 for 13 from the field in that game. Mo Arnold with 9 points and 5 steals, but lost a close one to Utah Valley. And then we had to play the winner of Cal State Fullerton versus Cornell. We're hoping for
Cornell. Gosh,
did not get Cornell. We got Cal State Fullerton, who could not hit anything the day before. So, of course, they couldn't miss anything versus us. Lost this one 74-67. Down 9 at the half, 34-25, and we're down as many as 20, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we came back furiously in the second half, scored 42 points in the second half, but it just wasn't enough. Hart had 23 points, Crowley 15. He was 3 of 10 from field goal range, 1 of 6 from deep. That's just got to get better. Ivory had 12 points. Tegra Ize, shout out, had a double-double, his first as a Southern Miss Golden Eagle, 11 points and 10 rebounds. He continues to get better. And then, of course, we saw the game tonight. So, and speaking of the Jackrabbits, you talked about a couple of their losses earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Akron 81-75. We played Akron. We know Akron's good. They lost to UCF 83-80. So, and then they lost to Kansas 91-68. The point is, other teams don't hold them to the point total that we held them to tonight. Other teams do score a lot. So it's almost like we need to get scorers in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or just make your free throws, like the DOS said. Either way, something's got to happen. Tweet of the week, Pilo. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know if you have that tweet handy, but
I do.
It was awesome. And hit us with that tweet of the week.
So it was actually a response to a tweet that you had put out, and I think a little context. You put a lot of people can't wait for us to lose so they can get loose on Twitter. And our good friend of the show, and man, we miss you, Pink. DeAndre Pinckney chimed in and said, "It's just the world we live in. They hate you when you're down. They love you when you're up. All of the slick comments and personal opinions say a lot about you as a person. Thanks to the fans who aren't always on here being negative with their personal opinions when the guys get down. Could not agree more.
Well said. Had our good buddy Scott just send me a picture of a pan of deviled eggs
There we go.
on my
Deviled
text
ham.
message. Deviled ham.
Learned something
I'm gonna
today.
bring that up. That's right.
Do it.
So, and that's about all that I had tonight, man. I know it's late. Now we have Thanksgiving starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
If
Gotta
there's any
drive
more
down to the
comments,
Mobile again.
oh really? Just got back from there.
I know. Going back.
But if there's any more comments about what you feel like you would like to see out of the football team this Saturday, or where's your frustration level at right now with basketball?
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of in the same boat. If you're up listening to this show or watching this show at the moment, you've got some emotional stake in the game as far as Southern Miss goes, and you probably feel a lot like we do. But this is a place where you can let that out, baby. Get up in here, because if not, we are going to hit shout outs, and I'm going to finish this frothy beverage and get up in the morning and take off north about an hour and a half to Pearl, Mississippi, and enjoy some of those deviled hams.
Not to be confused with deviled yams.
Or deviled eggs.
There we go.
Deviled, what did I say?
Deviled hams. I got the ham on your mind, man.
Oh, God. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. Earlier, like I said, my good friend and roommate, Clark Little, such a good dude. I had a lot of fun times with Clark. One of the funniest human beings I've ever met. Actually did stand up for a little while out in San Francisco. And I think he has a podcast too. Overlook Hour, I think is what it's called. We'll roll with that. So Clark, good to see you, man. And then I told him tonight, I'm like, we gotta have like a guys like trip, with all of us that kind of haven't I've seen a lot of those guys that just haven't really, we all haven't been in the same room together in several years. So shout out to him. Shout out to Phil tonight. It was fun sitting down there.
And Emily, more importantly, she's
came to a game, and
little Phil's gonna be running around here before you know it.
Yeah, ran back up those steps, man. She was a trooper. And shout out to my crew. My entire family was at a game in Reed Green, which is exciting for them all to be there. I don't know if they'll come back for a while. She does one more. Good friend T-Row. Gotta give him a shout out today for the invite to golf.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we would not have been able to play Hattiesburg Country Club without the good doctor. And we really appreciated that.
Yeah, it was a fun.
I love how I picked the day where it's like 25-mile-an-hour winds on and off. It's cold and all that.
If we ever need this drastic change in temperature, just invite one of us to come play golf.
Yes.
And it will rain, or it will freeze, or it might even snow. We're in a drought, and the day before we get 4 inches of rain, and it's 40 degrees with a 30-mile-an-hour wind, and we're trying to hit a golf ball. So good times.
Which, by the way, Hattiesburg Country Club, you could not have been in much better shape.
Oh, it was great.
It didn't even need to be cart path only.
Yeah, I just got my steps in.
That was a joy. Walking around all day. The key to playing cart path only golf is to hit it near the cart path.
Yes.
That should be your goal. You don't look down the fairway. You just look, where's the cart path? That's where I'm going.
And I'm not gonna lie, a couple times we used the other cart path. Which is handy. Yeah. But we made it happen.
So my shout outs, my good buddy Kenny Wellborn came in town. Him and his whole family are back visiting family in the Petal area. They live in Texas. So Kenny and his son Landon showed up to the game tonight. Another friend of the show, and this is a kid that I gave baseball lessons to forever ago. His dad's been on the show, Kelly Sanner. His son John Carter Sanner was at the game tonight. He's a pitching coach at where is that? Somewhere down in Florida. I don't know. Ocala, Florida. Whatever college is there. That's like the JUCO juggernaut. They won the Natty and all that.
North Florida.
Maybe.
That's a guess.
No, because this is Central Florida, maybe. Not the university. Anyway, it's in Ocala, and they're awesome. I promise. Anyway, so John Carter was there, and I look forward to hooking up with him later on this week as well. And last shout out is our good friend Ed, who's the manager over at Pyros. I was walking up the stairs, and he was like, "Hey, are you that guy that's on the thing?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I'm the dude that chimed in last time saying that seats in Section F were better." I said, "Well, Section F is solid. It's a solid spot." And Renfro's tickets right down there at the bottom.
Oh yeah,
they really might be the best tickets, the best seats in the house. It's a skinny little row. If you're thinking about where's F at, it's that skinny little row in between G and the chairbacks.
Yep.
So the very bottom seat, I want to say it's maybe 2, possibly 3 total seats when you get down to the bottom. That's where Renfro's tickets are. Anyway,
yeah,
it's a real good spot. If you don't have anything else, and if there is nothing else comment-wise, then we can go ahead and shut this puppy down.
Yeah, let's shut it down.
Okay.
I have to say though, at the beginning, that 30-second intro, I just need that like at multiple times during my day. I just something about that tune. It was getting
just
me
to
hyped.
regroup.
Yeah, it's just
like bust through the door at the end of it.
Yeah, it just gets me like hyped. I love
like
it.
your own personal walk-up song wherever you go that day.
Yeah, just walk.
As soon as people hear it, they're like, "Oh, here he comes!"
Just like, wait a second, I got 30 seconds. Hold on, here we go. Start it.
This episode was brought to you by our good friends over at 4th Street Bar and Grill. What would be nice is when we start the call-in part of this, somebody can call from 4th Street Bar while they're there, right?
It could.
There's a smooth tunes. I like it. So 4th Street Bar, of course, where they're famous for installing and servicing hangovers. Go see our friends at 4th Street Bar today. And thank you for listening or watching or participating or whatever you did, whatever day you might have listened and whichever platform you chose to listen in on, because this exact show tonight, not only is it live, we're going to rip the audio, Pilovis. He's going to rip the audio and put it out on a podcast in the next couple of days. Is that right?
Yeah.
No rush. So remember, you can follow me at Bumper J Bailey and Patrick at P Lowry. You can follow us on all social at To The Top Talk. And don't forget about the mailbag, tothetoptalk@gmail.com. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell somebody to the top today. And as always, Southern Miss.
To the top.
Talk. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.